Welcome to 21st Sports Recap and Reaction for the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants in their Week 7 matchup played October 25th, 2015 as these two NFC East rivals went at it. We're going to go over the scores and the stats and give our breakdown and analysis. So starting off in the first quarter, with about 5.5 left in the first, Dan Bailey hit a 30-yard field goal to put the first points on the scoreboard, and it was 3-0 Cowboys over the Giants. So that would do it for the first, and in the second quarter, with about 11 minutes left before halftime, Orleans Darkwa ran it in, a 15-yard touchdown for the G-Men. Josh Brown added the extra point, and it was now 7-3 as the Giants took the lead by 4. Then at the midway point in the second quarter, with 7.5 minutes left before halftime, Dan Bailey hit his second field goal of the game, this one a 48-yard field goal to make it a 1-point game with the score New York 7, Dallas 6. Then with about 2.5 minutes left before halftime, Darren McFadden punched it in from a yard out, and with the extra point by Bailey, it was now 13-7 as the Cowboys took the lead back, this time up by 6. But then, with a minute left before halftime, Josh Brown hit a 47-yard field goal, and it was now a 3-point game with Dallas still in the lead, 13-10. So that would be the score at halftime in this close game between these two rivals. And in the third quarter, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie would intercept Matt Castle, and he ran it back 58 yards for the pick 6. Josh Brown kicked the extra point, and the G-Men were back in the lead, up by 4 with the score New York 17, Dallas 13. Then, with a little over 3 minutes left, still in the third, Josh Brown hit a 34-yard field goal to extend the Giants' lead to 7 with the score New York 20, Dallas 13. So that was the score after 3 quarters of play, and in that third quarter, 2 turnovers lead to 10 points for New York. It's the interception, and then for the touchdown, and then they end up with another interception, which sets up the field goal, and that one by Merriweather. So now in the fourth quarter, the Dallas Cowboys would tie this game with a 25-yard pass from Matt Castle to Devin Street for the touchdown. An incredible pass. Castle on the run throws it, and Devin Street just with the toes in the corner of the end zone, keeping his toes in bounds, scores the touchdown. Dan Bailey with the extra point, and as I said, it was tied at 20. So this game tied up at 20 with 7 minutes left, and on the ensuing kickoff, Dwayne Harris, the former Cowboy, runs it back 100 yards for the Giants, and they respond with the touchdown that tied it, with the touchdown on special teams on the kickoff, and the extra point by Josh Brown put the Giants back in lead by 7 with the score New York 27, Dallas 20. So huge special teams play. And now the Cowboys would get the ball back after that touchdown run back by Harris, and Matt Castle would lead them down the field into New York territory. They were in field goal range, but on 4th and 8 from the New York 30, with less than 2 minutes left to play, they elected to go for it. Castle hit Hannah for a 6-yard reception, but he was stopped short by Wade and Casilla as he came up 2 yards shy of the first down, and so the Cowboys would turn the ball over on downs, down by a touchdown with less than 2 minutes left to play. But then their defense forced a 3-and-out by the Giants. They used all 3 of their timeouts, and now on 4th and 3 from their own 32, the Giants would be forced to punt the ball. And now the Cowboys had no timeouts, but with a little over a minute and a half left to play, but on the punt, Beasley muffs the catch, and the Giants recover. White would recover the fumble by Beasley, and the Giants recover, and they get control of the ball. And now, with no timeouts remaining for the Cowboys, all that was left to do was for Eli Manning to take 3 knees in the victory formation as the Giants pull this one out, and they win the game. They're now 4-3 on the season, a huge win against their division rivals as they are now in first place in the NFC East. Of course, the Eagles yet to play as they're going to be playing against the Carolina Panthers, who are undefeated. That's the Sunday night game. But as it is right now, as it stands, the Giants are in first place at 4-3 in the NFC East. And of course, they're going to be rooting for the Panthers. As if the Eagles lose to the Panthers, New York will be all alone in first place. If the Eagles win that game, then it will be a two-way tie for first place. But as I record this, the Giants are in first place as of the moment. Of course, in the comment section below, once that changes, go ahead and let me know if the Eagles, win. Of course, we'll be covering that game, and you can check that out. But as of now, the Giants are in first place at 4-3. They're 3-1 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They're at MetLife. And the Cowboys, after starting 2-0, have lost 4 straight. They're now 2-4 on the season, 1-2 on the road, as they are sorely missing Romo and, of course, Dez Bryant. And in this game, Randall actually went down as well. So the injuries keep coming for the Cowboys. And even they didn't have Whedon in there. They went with Castle, and it did not work out. And the Giants, even though they didn't get a big effort from Eli, they did get a huge effort by their defense and by their special teams, and they find a way to win. And in the game, Eli Manning just 13 of 24, 170 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And for Matt Castle, 17 of 27, 227 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And on the ground, the leading rusher was Darren McFadden with 29 carries for 152 yards and a touchdown. The leading rusher for the Giants, Shane Vereen, with 4 carries for 56 yards. Darkwa had 8 carries for 48 yards, including a touchdown. And Vereen also had 1 reception for 6 yards, which gave him 64 total yards on the game. And for the Cowboys, the leading receiver in the game was Jason Witten, the tight end from Dallas, 6 receptions for 73 yards. Williams also had 4 receptions for 70 yards. And for the Giants, Ruben Randall, 2 receptions for 68 yards to be their leading receiver. Harris with 2 receptions for 43 yards. And of course, he ran that touchdown back 100 yards that would be the difference maker. And for the kickers, Brown, 2 for 2 on the field goals, 3 for 3 on the extra point. He was perfect in this game. So was Bailey, 2 for 2 on the field goals, 2 for 2 on the extra points. And on the defense, Beeson with 7 tackles, as well as Kennard. Merriweather with an interception. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie had 2 picks, including a pick 6. Kuhn had a half sack, as well as Selvey. And for the Cowboys, Crawford had a sack, as did Greg Hardy, as he was getting up in Eli's face. That was the pass rush was getting to Eli, but he did not turn the ball over in this game as he was protecting it. Of course, there was the 1 fumble by Beasley, and that would be on that punt. It came at a crucial moment for the Cowboys, and the Giants recovered that fumble, which secured the victory. We look at the team stats: 27 first downs for the Cowboys, just 13 for the Giants. On third down, 6 for 11 for Dallas, 54% conversion rate. 3 for 11 for New York, just 27% converted. The Cowboys went for it once on fourth down. They did not convert. Total net yards, 460 for the Cowboys, 289 for the Giants. On the ground, 233 net yards for Dallas, 132 netted for New York. Through the air, 227 netted for the Cowboys. They got sacked once. Castle sacked once. Did not lose any yards. And for New York, 157 netted through the air. Eli was sacked twice for a total loss of 13 yards. Let me look at the penalties. 7 penalties against the Cowboys for 46 yards. 3 penalties against the Giants for 13 yards. And the Cowboys lost the fumble there, of course, as I just mentioned, on that punt that would really cost them the game. Of course, the big special teams play, a couple big special teams play. First, the 100-yard kick return, and then that fumble on the punt, which was recovered by New York. So special teams coming up very clutch for the Giants in this win. And in the red zone, the Dallas Cowboys were 1 for 2, 50%, and the Giants 1 for 3 for 33% in the red zone. And the time of possession, 38 minutes and 4 seconds for Dallas, just 21 minutes and 56 seconds for the Giants. It's really, when you look at the numbers, it's hard. It's like, how did they pull this one out? Dallas was on the field twice as much, And that's where you really got to give a ton of credit to the Giants defense, as they were out there for almost 40 minutes, and even being out there twice as long for them to hold the Cowboys to just 20 points. And of course, they only let them score 7 in the second half. They came up big time in this game, as the Giants just kept fighting, and they found a way to win this one, as they kept forcing the turnovers. 4 turnovers for the Cowboys, and that really was the difference, was those 4 turnovers. Of course, one of those coming on the special teams, and the big, huge kick return, which was the difference maker in the end. And of course, the Giants not making mistakes. They weren't turning the ball over, and when you win that battle of turnovers, you're usually going to win. That's one of the more crucial things, is not to make those mistakes. And that was the problem, is that Dallas just kept making mistakes. They were moving the ball, but then the 3 interceptions by Castle, of course, one went for a touchdown, another one led to a field goal. And then, of course, every time you throw an interception, you're going to cost your team the potential of having a scoring drive. And so 3 picks by Castle, and you got to guess that he's probably not going to start next week. They'll probably be back to Whedon. Of course, we shall see as they continue to play musical chairs while they're waiting for Romo. And for the Dallas fans, he can't come back quick enough. And for the Giants, a big win at home against a division rival. They find a way to win. Not really much on the offensive end. And the Cowboys actually, give their defense credit as well. But the Giants, their defense played an amazing game, especially when you consider that they were out there for twice as long as the Dallas defense. They're out there twice as long as their offense, and they still were able to come away with the victory. A huge performance by New York's D, and this is a good sign for them moving forward. When the defense is playing like this, then it's going to be a good season for the Giants. It's what they were really, the one thing that they've been kind of missing was the defensive dominance. And right here with these 4 turnovers, of course, one of them coming on the special teams and getting the big special teams plays, those are things that, you can't really count on. But when they happen, they are big, and they capitalized. And so the New York Giants come away with a huge victory here, and the Cowboys now fall into 2-4, and they are in last place in the East, and the Giants are in first place. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.